What's up, everybody? Froggy Stonks here. Nothing I say is financial advice, entertainment purposes only. Welcome to the AMC Q1 2022 Earnings Call. We got about 30 minutes. Holy shit. What up, everybody? Got the Twitter Spaces up. Got the YouTube up. If you want to come up and talk, we have 30 minutes until the earnings call. What's up, Gare? How you doing, man?
Hey, so excited for today. I would like to just start off with, excited about the credit card, excited about any popcorn announcement, any want to kind of know about the revenue, about the Batman popcorn buckets. There's so much I'm just excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many different things that happen that people might have just kind of brushed off. But you got to understand, we had crypto enacted. We had massive Batman stuff. We had Spider-Man stuff. We had the Batman popcorn bucket helmets. We had the Godfather t-shirts on sale. We had all kinds of other things making revenue. So we'll see, man. You know, they let us know in Q4. They said, hey, don't blame us for Q1. We all know Q1 is a slow time of the year for the movies, but I'm not even bothered by it because already in Q2, we've had massive movie attendance.
And just to mention, like the whole A stubs, like just the 99 cents a month, the A list. I think that got a lot of people that didn't even think about, or had considered it before and just got on it now.
True.
Hopefully they'll stick around, but yeah, I'm excited for that.
I'm really excited to see the Stubs memberships revenues and AMC On Demand because I know a lot of people have been kicking up and getting in on that. So, all right.
Hey guys, good afternoon.
Hey Jen.
Hey.
What's up, Jen?
I'm just trying to
Doing all right.
Hi,
Sugar.
How you guys doing, man? Where's my money at, man?
Hey.
I need
Baby,
my
I got
money.
your money, don't you worry.
I need my money from these crooks, man. They gotta pay us sooner or later,
Well, we're up 3% in the after hours, 5% on Highcroft in the after hours. Dude,
Wow.
this is. I'm telling you, I've been telling people the week of the 20th, the options chain is just juiced. I'm not surprised they just knocked everything down as hard as they could this week. And it's Friday the 13th coming up. But I got a feeling, man, I think we're going to see some movement on the week of May 20th. I think hedge funds are in deep trouble, and that's why crypto is just puking out.
I'm trying to remember of the last earnings call because I'm trying to remember what they had mentioned. I know they were talking about credit cards, popcorn. Between that time, Highcroft was a thing. So I'm just trying to think of everything else that they said besides,
There was a
90%
mention of the AMC crypto, but
Oh, that's true. Yes.
yeah, just kind of like a mention.
And then the whole Highcroft mining NFT.
Actually, kind of looking at my old notes on it right now.
Ooh, Jen's prepared. Yes, Jen.
Kind of.
I'm pretty excited. This new method I've been using the past probably 4 weeks, it's really hit. No options May was a massive success, you guys. We actually trended that hashtag on 2 different platforms, and I don't mean it just pops up. We had like the numbers underneath showing us that, hey, this is really trending. This is how many people are doing it. And a lot of people are peeling off. And a lot of people didn't lose their fucking premiums this past couple weeks, which I'm really happy about. Now you own the stock. We bought the dip. So if we fall out of the money Friday, you don't lose it and the hedge funds don't get it. And then next week, if we run, you're in the money and everybody that played options is not. So, man, just solid work.
Man, we're up over
Oh, guys.
5% right now.
The Q4 earnings, some things that were talked about was the NFTs, like Spider-Man NFT. Anime was talking about how a single Spider-Man NFT sold for $17,000. So just talk about like some of the NFT programs, then cryptocurrency, and also had talked about BitPay, which they had announced, I think, that week or something about Dogecoin and Shibu. And then also there was the mention, like I said, they were of AMC issuing their own cryptocurrency. They also talked about the Perfectly Popcorn, 50 tons per day. Let's see what else. Oh, and the AMC branded credit card.
That credit card is going to be big.
Yeah, so I'm hoping. In fact, I was going to ask you guys, what do you guys think will happen during earnings today? I mean, I'm personally hoping that AA will make some sort of announcement, maybe on the AMC crypto, or even more on the AMC branded credit card. What do you guys think?
I would love to see the credit card go. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, lady.
Hi.
I didn't know you could-
Go, lady.
I'm well. I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget that other places I actually have to raise my hand.
Oh, no.
Oh, no,
That's kind of an unwritten rule. Definitely don't have to raise your
okay.
hand.
Yeah, just chime in whenever.
But yeah, I would love to just see the credit card get going. I'm excited about that. So, but
And for me, I don't know if you've bought recently, like tickets on your computer. Like you get ads after. It's like something about insurance and other like just ads that you get. Like I think I saw a Honey one too. So I know AMC is definitely collecting that.
If they're getting paid revenue for ads now, that is huge. And I was going to do the Razor thing because I run through Razors like crazy. So.
Oh, wow.
Hi.
We're up
How's it going?
6% after hours.
Hey, Tara.
Hey, Tara.
You see the after hours terrible? 808.
Yeah, I'm watching. And HYMC too. I love to see it. It's amazing.
Yep. It's beautiful that everybody rolled in and bought the dip like a bunch of boss fucking awesome apes today.
Boss apes.
Hey, I have a question. It says on my screen that I'm invited to co-host, but it also says that I'm up here as a co-host. Can you tell me what position I'm in right now?
It says on my end that you're co-host.
Do you want me to
Okay,
take it
just
back?
making
And,
sure.
Yeah.
do you want me to take it back and re-invite you?
I don't know. What does it show on your screen, on your side, Spence?
Co-host, do you have the functionality though? Can you mute people?
Here, let me try to kick someone out. Who should it be?
Sugar.
Nope, I can't. It's okay. No power for me. That's good. I'm on a power trip today. I'd probably just drop everyone like it's hot. I'm just playing. I love you guys. I missed you guys.
I've blocked more people in the past 5 days than I have the entire time I've been here because the shills are coming out of the effing woodworks. Coming out of the tree.
same, Spen.
I just joined so Tara could kick me this time, but
I need PJ to do that. That's what PJ's. She did that like what, once or twice? I can't remember. That was pretty funny, Hank.
Hi, Hank.
what's up?
Oh, Sugar.
I had,
Hi, Tara.
I had a blast today.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi Liddy. Hi Jen. Hi Tara. Hank.
I love having all the ladies up here. Spence gets all the girls. What is going on? I think it's that frog on his head. I swear.
It's that girl. You know it's that green frog.
Yeah.
We like green.
Sexy.
We have a hot frog.
It's definitely not my amazing voice and my handsome beard, but
Yes, that too.
I do like
But
that.
It's your gigantic following now. Anyway, I see Jonathan and Justin with their hands.
let's be humble
their
with the
hands up.
mid-size following.
Hi, Jonathan. How you doing?
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Jonathan.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, so I just obviously, I mean, happy earnings day and everything else. I just wanted to let everybody know I shot Jen and Spence a direct message, but a few weeks ago, Commissioner Pierce had put something out that if you wanted to sit down and talk with her, to basically send them a message, and I actually got selected. And I'm going to be having a web meeting with her on Monday. Her office has been going back and forth with me, and they're going to give me about 10 or 15 minutes online to speak with her directly. So I just wanted to let everybody know, I'm just one person, and you guys are obviously were the apes in the crew. So if anybody wants to DM me and wants me to talk to her about anything specific, I mean, obviously I have the general things that we all want to talk about. But if anybody has anything specific that you want me to bring up to her, just shoot me a DM, and I'd be happy to mention it to her at our meeting on Monday. But that's all. I'll kind of go down and let everybody else talk. But thank you guys.
Awesome, dude. Appreciate that very much. I'll
got it, guys.
DM you.
Yep, awesome.
That's good. I'm glad it's not me, because I'd straight up put her on fucking blast.
Somebody just ended up being in a cult. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
I want to do it too. Listen, I want to do it really bad, but obviously you got to kind of be respectful.
Right.
But I do want to find out why she does these no votes and why her position is what it is, when it's pretty much clear as day to even the average investor about what's going on. But again, I'm happy to share any thoughts that you guys have. Shoot me a DM, and on Monday I'll hopefully I can record the meeting on my end so that I can share it with everybody.
That sounds great, man. And I'm glad it's you. I think you'll go in and represent the community very, very well. So, well done. Justin, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Spence, Tara, Jen? Thanks for the time. Just real quick, guys, if you haven't voted and your proxy materials have come in, if this isn't a reason to do it, I don't know what is, but check your email with the. Can you hear me okay now?
Yep.
You were cutting out there for a few seconds.
Hello?
Are you okay?
Okay, yeah, if it does, just cut me off. I apologize. I'm in a crap area, but just reference proxy vote coming up for a shareholder meeting. When you get your proxy in your email for whatever your broker is, make sure you're checking the number of shares that you held against what's listed in the email, because there are some people, and Tony DeNaro is one of them, puts out some really good DD for AMC, talked about how the number of shares that he was holding is actually less that was listed in the email that he got from his broker. So if that's not a reason for you guys to vote, I don't know what is, but please, everybody, just encourage each other to get that stuff in. That's all I got for now. Thank you.
Cool. It looks like the numbers probably dropped. I'm not even going to pull it up and read it. We'll just listen to AA. I'd rather hear it today. Usually I'd read it off prior to, but let's keep it a surprise. Let's see here. What up, everybody on YouTube? Thank you for coming. Everybody on Twitter is here. If you have any questions, just type it in. Can't believe, I gotta say thanks to all my Twitter followers, but my YouTube followers too. I can't believe we've hit like 778 now, and I didn't pay a dime for my first 1,000 followers like all these other goobers do. So really proud of everybody, man.
I didn't even realize you had a YouTube.
Yeah, Froggy.
I would have gone on through YouTube because do you get like money through views, or how does that? Nope. Oh, okay, never mind then. So it doesn't matter if I'm here on YouTube watching you.
Yeah, if you want to get on there and hit a sub and a like, it helps get it out to more people, so people who aren't on Twitter can see what we're doing.
I just posted Unusual Wells already posted earnings. If y'all want to look at the front.
My bad. I'm having issues. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'll be right back.
I can hear you, Tara.
That's pretty normal.
Oh wait, I did know you had a YouTube because you posted that funny video, that close-up shot video. I remember that.
Oh yeah, those are my YouTube shorts.
So I did subscribe. Okay, good.
That's where I make fun of the YouTubers that take community money. You would think if you were a good enough investor that you wouldn't need to get money from the community for shitty t-shirts and whatnot.
Unusual Wells alert.
Do we want to read it or keep it all a surprise for the earnings call? It's up to you guys.
I say read it,
I
Spence.
hate surprises. Let's
let's fucking go.
You wanna read it here?
Yeah, I think you should read it. And by the way, Bam tweeted at you too about the
Me?
Hoyle.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Hoyle's method, baby. It's perfect.
Can we get Tara back up here real quick? She's trying to.
Is she down there? There she is.
Yeah.
Let me invite her to co-host. Jen, can you invite people to co-host when you're a co-host?
No, I can't. I can't invite people up to speak, but that's the best that I can do.
I just threw her. I'm having trouble getting people
I
up.
sent her an invite.
There it goes.
Oh, there we go.
I keep trying to let's see here.
Can you hear us?
There we go. I can hear you guys. Now I actually can see like the mute and unmute. I couldn't see anything on my screen before. It was so weird.
There we go.
Anyway, are you getting ready to read the earnings report?
I'm not gonna
Yes.
read it because I'm lazy, but if Yair wants to read Unusual Whales alert, that'd be cool.
Before we get into that and drop the bombs in here, can everyone do us a favor and make sure you've tweeted out the call so other people see it? If you haven't done so, that would be amazing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We just assume that that's what people do, but it's good.
I was also going to say for people, sorry, Jen, my bad. For people who are stuck at work and stuff, YouTube is amazing because there's a live chat there and Spence does an incredible job of multitasking and watching the live chat. So it's pretty awesome if you want to chime in, but you're not able to come up here as a speaker and you can chat over there. So that's what's so cool about live streaming this on YouTube as well.
Yep. And so everybody knows, I will never, ever ask or take a dime from the community for anything I do. So if you ever get a DM saying it's me and join my sub or some bullshit like that, it's fake. I want you to buy the stock. I'm not telling
For the
you to, but I
people-
want you to.
For the DMs that I'm getting about who is going to contact Hester Pierce or be able to chat with her, it was Jonathan, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's pretty cool. That's actually a really good thing, and I think he's gonna do really well. My question to her would be, oh, what was it? Shit, I forgot. Never mind.
Dude, are you not allowed to forget things? Come on.
I have a terrible memory, dude. Why is Unusual Whales not popping up? Unusual. There it is. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm the king of typos. So if you ever see a wonky tweet, just excuse it, please.
Same.
Me
I'm
too. I'm terrible too.
Okay.
I guess,
Wow, I just heard myself laugh.
uh,
It like delayed. That was really loud. I'm so sorry that I laughed that loud for you guys.
you have a nice laugh, lady.
Please laugh.
So
What about my laugh?
Yeah.
Haven't heard it.
Whatever.
he's got that super smooth voice.
Hey guys, this is how you know we're getting close because I just saw that tweet about you're in the biggest cult, blah blah blah. They always do that right before a run.
Size matters.
Who's saying that it's a cult?
Some douchebag.
Mr. Green
Yeah,
Energy or
dude.
whatever he was.
Oh my
Who's
god.
also Bender.
I'd rather be in this cult than an Epstein cult. I'm just saying they seem more concerned about AMC than Epstein, and that might be a problem.
I can't with him. I got in with him last night and I'm good.
So Unusual Whales tweeted EPS for AMC was negative 52 cents and the estimated was negative 66. So we beat the consensus estimate. Revenue was 785.7 million. The estimate was 743.4 million. So we beat revenue. Admissions revenue was 443.8 million from 69.5 million last year. Food revenue was 252.5 million from 50.1 million last year. Obviously per the quarter, so we beat everything. Available liquidity as of March 31st, 2022 was 1.376 billion. I'm thinking not just because of cash burn, but that sounds like Adam Aaron and company might have done another acquisition or investment. That's a lot of cash they went through. Because we had 1.75 billion at the announcement of the HYMC investment. So they must have bought something.
What was that company, the popcorn company you kept talking about, Spence?
Uncle Willie's. I'm just using that as an example because it's close to Weaver Popcorn in Indiana, and it just randomly popped up on my grocery store shelf like 4 months ago. And every time I walk into the popcorn shelf, I'm like, fuck all this popcorn. AMC should be right here. And where I always point is exactly where Uncle Willie's was. So if Ellen what's up, lady?
Sorry, I was just grocery shopping and Smart Food has a movie popcorn now, and I was like,
Yep.
fuck you, Smart Food.
Yep, I seen that in my Smiths. What's really funny, or what would be really awesome if that's what Ellen Kopakin's been doing this whole time, is working with like Uncle Willie's to get them on the shelves already. So when they do buy them out, all they got to do is rebrand. So that would be cool.
Spence, real quick, I'm going to be that annoying guy real fast. I got my mom listening with me right now for the first time. If everybody could say hello, that'd be cool.
Hey, E's mom.
Hey, happy belated Mother's Day.
Yep.
Hope your mother had a
Mother's
good
Day.
Mother's Day. Don't get caught around my tool shed again. Tell you what, or I'll have to tell your mother.
I'm from Michigan too.
Me three.
She said, "Oh, I'm from the UK."
Awesome. I need to go to the UK. I need to go probably like visit my, you know, my history or whatever.
Oh, hold on. She'll say, hold on. Say it again.
You should go now while you're still young.
I'm trying to.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. Well, let's hope the stock goes up, then we'll be all going.
There you go.
My last name is Spencer, so I should probably go check out what's been going on over there.
And don't forget to stop in Ireland.
That's right. My mom said, make sure you stop by.
I sure will. I love traveling. And it's going to get really
Nice
hot
talking
here
to
in
you.
Albuquerque, so I need to bounce.
It's funny because I was just telling my mom about she watches Better Call Saul with me. So I told her you're living in Albuquerque.
I've seen most of the places in Breaking Bad. I have not watched a single episode of Better Call Saul yet, which is really sad, but I'm just
It's
not.
so good.
I gotta wait until the hype's over to watch something. Like, it took me 2 years to even watch the first episode of Game of Thrones.
Well, Spence, I texted you. I'm on the same page with Game of Thrones. I'm still, to be honest, not there. But with Breaking Bad, I waited a couple of years and I binged it with my ex, and we made it through in like a week. But quickly, and I know it's a complete tangent, but Better Call Saul is the first prequel series I've ever seen in my entire life.
Nice.
That not only lives up to its predecessor, but matches it and beats it in certain ways. It's basically Breaking Bad with a really great dark comedic approach that wasn't nearly as present in Breaking Bad. And now we're in the final season. The entire cast is returning, so it's pretty cool that they've sort of sandwiched the two series together like that. Where the last 6 episodes, they don't take place before, but they literally take place during the first season of Breaking Bad from Saul's perspective.
What was I gonna say? Have you watched El Camino?
Yeah, I'll be honest. As a film, like cinematography-wise and script, it's perfect. It's incredible. I don't think it. The investment in the Jesse character, because he's the kind of the moral fiber of the series, isn't as exciting, but it's good. I definitely give it a solid A. It's a great movie. Yeah.
Hey everybody. Elohim says hi from YouTube. He's on the channel. He's on the chat.
Oh, can you tell him I miss him?
He can hear you.
I miss you, Elohim. I sent you a direct message like seconds after that tweet, And then it wasn't going through, And then when I looked, you were gone. I was so upset. We miss you.
Ciano Sullivan's on YouTube too. He is also banned from Twitter. Y'all got to start behaving, man.
Who's Spence?
Ciano Sullivan.
Oh no. Yeah, just don't say bad words. I'll never forget. I almost got Twitter banned for calling Robin Hood a hoe. I mean, if it can happen to me, it can happen to any of you guys.
Robin Hood is a hoe.
Right.
Not like a cool one. Like
Facts.
all right.
Exactly.
6
I mean,
minutes till earnings. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jen, go ahead.
I swear in here a lot. Like, I use the F word a lot, but I don't spell out the F word. It's like FUK, you know.
This is the most YouTube viewers I've ever had in a live chat. We got 32 people up in here.
We gotta be trying to get up here to speak.
That's exciting for you, Spence. Tell Elohim I said hi and we miss him. We've reported him to Twitter Spaces to get out of jail.
Nice. Yeah, he can hear everything you guys say. So everybody in the chat and YouTube can hear everything y'all say.
Yeah, he can. He's in here right now.
So guys, this is a huge thing that we beat. Don't you think?
We beat everything. All estimates by a lot.
I mean, I'm pretty shocked. I mean, I'm shocked in a sense that I went in today. I went into earnings with the mindset that we weren't going to beat because of the last earnings call.
Do you know what that means?
This means that we're going to run tomorrow.
You realize what it means for Q2? We're going to blow Q2 positive out of the freaking water.
Wow.
We are going to annihilate Q2.
Wow. Good for us. We deserve it.
Absolutely. So if we beat Q1 by 10, 15%, whatever, and that was with a bad in between of movies for the quarter and people just finally now getting comfortable with going to the theater. There were so many more people this last couple weeks at my theater, and you could tell it was people there who are still wearing masks and such, but they're finally out and feeling safe now. So we're going to do nothing but increase viewership for the next 3 quarters.
Like me and my partner, we wanted to go see Bad Guys. Like we usually go to our local AMC theaters, and because this was like last minute, we couldn't even get tickets. We had to like drive like 15 minutes to our other AMC just because we found tickets, and it was just, I'm like, wow, a lot of people are going like today on a Saturday.
Yeah, I was completely sold out last weekend for Doctor Strange, which I love. I got to read some of these YouTube comments. This is hilarious. Roderick said "Moas in my pants." What's the one about that?
My contrarian Doctor Strange opinion may not be welcome.
Oh, you say your opinion on it.
Not up to my expectations. As a comic fanboy, I appreciate Sam Raimi, and I think that at least he did something unique and fresh. And so with that said, that's already good. But my issue is continuity, tone, and context to the rest of the MCU, and more importantly, the script. Like visually, it's great, but the script just, for me, it doesn't work. It's kind of all over the place and not in a calculated way.
Yeah, they flowed between Avengers beat 'em up and classic horror, like back and forth too much. But I'm telling you, the couple scenes in there, I won't spoil it, but a couple scenes in there, I was like, I'm glad some people didn't bring their kids that were below 8.
I agree. I'm on the fence, though. I do think it straddles the line based on my understanding of the way they do ratings with my limited experience in that side of the field. It's close. I agree. But, I mean, it's a financial success, so that's, in our context, all that matters.
I liked it. I liked it because I got like this. Sam Raimi went from really, really classic movies to new age type horror. Because because I got a Wizard of Oz vibe every now and then from it. It was really cool. It kind of made me like.
Well, no, that's interesting. It's super meta. It's very postmodern. It's very fourth wall breaking. It's very self-aware. No, totally, I agree.
We got 1 minute and 44 seconds. I assume it's probably going to be some lounge music for the first couple minutes before they kick on. So I'll just keep it playing and listening quietly while we're talking.
Without spoilers, Spence, how do you feel they handled the cameos?
I liked it. I think they could have put a little more time into developing that, but I like how they went.
It felt fluent for me, but yet at the same time, I agree with you. I did enjoy it. I did not like it. It just felt a little out of place.
Well, the cameos that everybody wanted weren't the ones we really got, except for a few. Like everybody wanted. I don't want to say it because there's people that haven't watched it yet. So,
are you talking about the very strong man?
Yeah. I don't want to say.
Well, maybe not the strong man, but the strong human being, potentially with a lot of skills.
He was talking about the shredded man, you know.
Hey, you guys, really quick, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to remind people that there are some requests of people maybe trying to get in on the conversation. So if anyone can, if you can rotate yourself down to listener, and then if you want to come back up, just re-request. That way we can get other people up here in case they have questions or comments that they're trying to get in before the call.
I'm going to mute for a minute while I get my speaker set up.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's just like music. So I'll just let you guys know. I'll interrupt when it pops on. Oh, fancy music this time. Now there is 48 viewers in the YouTube chat. That's freaking awesome. Super happy everybody is attending the earnings call.
I gotta say, guys and gals, Apes did it. They saved AMC, Adam Aaron, and the board members. They better be thankful of the people showing up to the movie theaters, spending their hard-earned money, making things happen. I've been in AMC and GME since January of last year, before Robin Hood, the con man, CEO of the century, took the buy button away. We did it. We just got to be a little bit more patient, and this will be the biggest squeeze ever.
Completely agree with you, man. And I think we're absolutely 100% pushing the ball downfield and into our territory, like into end zone scoring territory. These short sellers, they have done nothing but lost money for the past 6 months in a massive, massive way. And I think this crypto fall off, crypto is just bleeding. That is institutions trying to scrape liquidity together from wherever they can. What's up, Joey, man?
I was just gonna say, hey, what's going on?
Hi, Joey.
What's up, Tara? What's up, Jen? Yeah, liquidity crisis looms. We're in it as we speak. It's so easy to see things in hindsight, but I believe that we're in the middle of. We hit below 400 today on the S&P 500. Mass liquidations, I think, are happening. We're, I think, shortly going to see that in mainstream media. I'm surprised that we haven't actually heard about it yet. And to Spence's point, we're seeing mass sell-offs in blue chip stocks, as well as in cryptocurrency, to find some level of liquidity where there is none. And eventually that's going to play out incredibly well for us. But like anything, we have to ride it out with the rest of the market. And I think I was pinging with Jess back and forth, actually. She was asking me about negative beta, and I'm surprised we're not even seeing it yet. I'm still waiting for it, and that's when I see like a true negative beta for, let's call it like 6 hourly candles against S&P 500. Once I watch that happening, I know it's happening. Like, I know with certainty that it's happening. Margin calls are not being met, and forced liquidations are happening. And what Spence said is this crypto sell-off is to meet margin requirements. There's no doubt in my mind. Same with selling like of Apple and Facebook a few weeks back. Like don't get me wrong, like Netflix may have missed earnings, but that was not a normal blue chip sell-off. What you saw was mass liquidation. That's not normal to see a stock of that caliber move in that way. So that was not a fundamental sell-off by any means. That is liquidation, to cover their bad plays. Like it's happening right now, and we're going to see the benefits of that very shortly. So that's just my 2 cents today. I'm excited to see if AAA has anything up his sleeve. I'm a little ticked at the guy, so I hope he has something up his sleeve for us retail investors who have done so much for the company over the course of the last 2 years.
I think that's been the hardest thing to witness is his progressive change in attitude toward, the apes, and how a year ago he was very much embracing the apes, talking about the apes, donating to, the Diane Fossey Fund to help the apes. And then slowly it's kind of sort of shifted and changed. And I don't know if maybe he's getting advised not to like embrace the apes so much, but I do notice he tends to retweet certain people. And so I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for me, especially because I dedicated hours upon hours upon hours of time to spaces like this over the past year. Today, I think, is actually might be the 1 year anniversary of my very first space that I ever ran. And some of them went 15 hours straight, and I don't know, it's just a little bit disheartening to not feel like that kind of reciprocation of like, hey, at least like a pat on the back, like, thank you guys, you saved the company. Instead, it's almost become a different thing. But I don't know. I'm sure he has a lot on his plate and a lot on his mind and a lot that he has to deal with on his end. So I'm not trying to knock the guy. I just wish that things were kind of the way they were a year ago, and that embrace the apes was still a thing.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Tara. I'm starting to, not to go too far into this, but he's a Harvard boy, and I'm sure he has some friends in some very high places, and he's trying to appease both parties simultaneously, which is a very, very hard balancing act, right? Like, I understand, man. Like, you have multimillionaire, billionaire friends that you're trying to kind of keep happy while also keep this, like, do the best due diligence you can for the business and keep it running. And eventually he's going to have to either sack up or get the fuck out. Like, we'll see what happens. I think it'll be very telling today what he says, because there's been a lot of pushback on him in the last 3 months.
They say the best way to beat your enemies is to make them your friends. I think Abe Lincoln said it.
You can't go wrong with Abe. I don't know if that's true, Tara, but can't go wrong
Abe
with
Lincoln
Abe, right?
definitely said it. Just playing.
Hey, Tara, I just want to jump in and say, I know that AA is retweeting shill-like folks lately, and maybe people that aren't 100% for the community, but I don't think he has a clue. I think he's too old to understand that depth.
He's right.
I'll be honest. If he, in my opinion, if anyone should have been on that float or been being retweeted, it should have been Cat Striker. I mean, that woman has dedicated so 100%. Much to this thing. Like, not me, not anybody else, but Cat. And I'm sorry, but to see it not happen time and time and time again has just felt like such a low blow to me. I mean, if she steps away from this, it's going to be a real a real hit for all of us because she's just done so freaking much. I mean, free advertising for the company that you all donated her funds to pay for, you know, but she had to do the work, the footwork to put all of that together, to get planes and banners and billboards and all of those things happening. And I mean, come on, like just a like and a pat on the back or a retweet of something would be amazing to see her sort of, you know, get the limelight for a second. She freaking deserves it. That woman is, I mean, she's just a beast.
True, Dad. Agreed. I think we can all agree on that.
And I'm not saying anyone is better than anyone else, but the dedication and the time and the energy that she has put toward AMC. I mean, she holds a huge position, so obviously there's that. And when the MOAS does happen, she'll be satisfied then, I'm sure. But at the same time, you know, they always say women, especially more than riches, more than anything, they just want to be appreciated. So I hope she knows how much we all appreciate her.
We can appreciate her by making her a C-level employee at the company. That'd be cool. Make her CMO, CPO over here.
If you're gonna be an ape on the board of that company, you better have your bolts screwed on pretty tight, because I think there's still a lot of internal bad actors that we need to weed out. We've already done one. I think we need to take another look at the board members. It was specifically interesting to see the compensation package where they were going to increase the compensation for the non-employee directors who, whatever they do at the company, if it's resources or networking or whatever, it's just crazy at this point in time to come back and say, you know, we're still not cash positive, but we're going to give these guys a raise. I don't buy that. And one of the guys on the compensation board chair, he's literally giving himself his own raise. It's just, I don't like it.
Spence, you know, a tweet. You're welcome to pin that tweet of mine that I think a lot of people saw. I'm voting.
Which one was it?
Yeah. Voting against
I was extremely frustrated, Spence, to see people who are advocating for a position on the board also advocating for a raise for the board at this point. I'm like, hold on a minute. Are you just like totally brown nosing to try to get in the door, or what is going on? Because now is like just not the right time. But I did hear that every time that's an option on the ballot. So I don't know what to believe, but at the same time, I don't feel like, you know, I don't think now is an opportune time for that to be happening.
Yeah. Well, every fiscal year they're required to put it on there, Tara. But what the proposal to which the raise for those executives is up to them, right? Like, so though you have to put the compensation package in front of shareholders, it is their choice to what that compensation package looks like. Does that make sense? So like, it does. Stay stagnant. I don't give a fuck if it's been 8.5% inflation. You've made a killing. We saw that you sold your shares. Like, just take a stagnant, you know, salary position. I would vote yes for that.
Until we're
no problems.
Sold at near 40, I believe, right? I mean, I don't know. It's just a tough pill for me to swallow to want to vote anyone into that position who's going in with that kind of, they deserve raises. Like, wait a minute. We're all diamond handing here down to freaking what we end up like. I don't even know where we ended today, but I don't know. It's just not something I'm like liking at this point if someone's advocating for that.
Do your job and you'll get a raise. Simple.
Yeah.
There you go.
If we go cash flow positive, I'll vote in that raise. But the problem is I think our vote is non-binding, which means they can still decide to do it no matter what retail votes. It's more of a, hey, what do you guys think? You know, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But
no, you're correct, Spence. But then we'd all leave.
Oh, damn. Please don't. Please read the room. Please, dear God, do not do that. Oh my God. Anyway, I hope that they read the room and do not go through with something like that. Would be absolutely crazy. So basically they're like, what do you think? They're looking at sentiment, but they might just do it anyway.
Yeah. And they don't deserve it yet. The only thing that's really happened is shareholder ideas have been implemented. And a few things have happened that the board did themselves. It's not time for a compensation raise. In the non-employee directors sell all their shares, they're compensated almost every single time. Like it's not good.
And to second Spence's point, if you look at any corporate board history, which I have done this week, and you look at the average corporation that did a voluntary shareholder vote to read the room and quote, because it is non-binding, as you guys just discussed, over 90% still give the raise.
Hey, I have to say someone DM'd me the exact quote from Abe Lincoln, by the way. It says, "Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends?" Thank you, William, for that. I knew Abe Lincoln said it. I knew it.
Abe.
Real quick, I'm going to put
Abe's
the
a G.
music up to see if this echoes. Just let me know if you hear any echo. Clean?
No, you're good.
Good. Okay. I got to get it right before they start speaking, or Tara will get pissed at me and leave.
I promise I'm in a great mood today.
She has high
Tara
standards for calls.
Tara said something really solid there as an undertone. So like, was it you, Spence? Like they have implemented many of the things that retail has suggested to implement, but not in full throttle to the capacity. Let's, hey, we accept Dogecoin. Sweet. We're going to start selling popcorn stores, which hasn't happened yet. But like outside of HYMC, they've done very, very little outside of getting great films and marketing in a way that retail has organically done kind of for them to increase revenue. Like, do things to increase revenue. You have all this extra, this war chest of cash. Like, I like the HYMC, to each their own on that investment, but keep doing things like that to become debt free. Like, don't keep doing these feel good things to appease us in lip service ways for a temporary amount of time that only lasts so long.
Joey, Spence has been like beating a dead horse here with the whole that we will pay for an NFT. Like, provide us an NFT and charge us for it so that you can generate revenue and royalties, while the NFT thing was just blowing up. I mean, that was just such a missed opportunity. And it's like trying to capture lightning in a bottle. And I get that these things take time, but then they pumped out an I own AMC NFT that you didn't even have to own AMC to get. So it was sort of like a slap in the face in a way. I mean, and it's exactly like what you said, like, we're just going to appease you guys and get you to shut up and carry on. But at the same time, we will pay. We want to see that debt covenant gone so that a dividend can be issued, so that we know how many shares are in existence. Like, it's that simple. And it doesn't have to be framed that way. Just renegotiate or let us help pay off that debt covenant. That's all we're asking for. Like, let us give you money, take our money. But yeah, it's frustrating.
Call starting.
President of Capital Markets and Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Sarah. Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to AMC's first quarter 2022 earnings webcast. With me this afternoon is Adam Aron, Chairman and CEO, and Sean Goodman, our Chief Financial Officer. Before I turn the webcast over to Adam, let me remind everyone that some of the comments made by management during this webcast may contain forward-looking statements that are based on management's current expectations. Numerous risks, uncertainties, and other factors may cause actual results to differ materially from those that might be expressed today. Many of these risks and uncertainties are discussed in our most recent public filings, including our most recently filed 10-K and 10-Q. Several of the factors that will determine the company's future results are beyond the ability. We may reference non-GAAP financial measures such as adjusted EBITDA, operating free cash flow, operating cash burn, operating cash generated, among others. For a full reconciliation of our non-GAAP measures to GAAP results, please see our earnings release posted in the Investor Relations section of our website. After our prepared remarks, there will be a Q&A session. This afternoon's webcast is being recorded, and a replay will be available in the Investor Relations section of our website at amctheaters.com later today. With that, I'll turn the call over to Adam.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Following on the heels of our progress throughout 2021, AMC's first quarter of 2022 marked yet another milestone. Thanks in part to Sony's Uncharted and Warner Brothers' The Batman, it was our best first quarter in 2 years. And we exceeded market expectations with a more than five-fold or $637 million improvement in revenue and an almost 80% or $233 million improvement in adjusted EBITDA compared to the same quarter of a year ago. What a difference a year makes. We are especially encouraged that when they did come to our theaters, our guests have been spending like never before, with revenues per patron through the roof, at AMC up 34% above pre-pandemic norms and meaningfully higher than was seen at our largest competitors.
Wow.
During our last earnings webcast, we noted the timing of when big movies would release this year, not because of streaming and not because of COVID fears among patrons, but rather solely because of what titles would open when. We told you in our last call that the first quarter of 2022 would be the softest quarter of this year and that box office numbers would improve sequentially as the year progressed. This view remains exactly how we see this year unfolding, with an improving box office and improving financial performance at AMC each and every successive quarter. But the real news of the day is the $187.4 million domestic opening and the $450 million global opening of Disney's Doctor Strange. This one was the biggest movie opening of 2022 and the second biggest opening of the pandemic era, second only to Spider-Man No Way Home. Let me say it again to all those who doubted the consumer appeal of movie theaters. Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange. And not only is the movie clearly a big hit, I'm also absolutely pleased to report to you that AMC overperformed for this movie on opening weekend with a 26% domestic market share, considerably higher than our historic 22% domestic market share norms. Given that AMC is the largest movie theater company in the world, we can say to our shareholders with some glee and delight that the resilience of movie theaters is right now on clear display and that the future of the cinema is bright. Indeed, we've already kicked off the second quarter with Sonic, who raced his way to the highest domestic opening weekend of all time for a video game adaptation and has thus far generated nearly $350 million of worldwide box office revenue. And as I said just a moment ago, this past weekend, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange. But we believe this is just the tip of the iceberg for what's to come in the summer and the balance of 2022. What an array of compelling and exciting film titles lies ahead for the rest of the year. We are just 2.5 weeks away from the premiere of my personal favorite, Paramount and Tom Cruise's long-awaited and highly anticipated Top Gun Maverick. I saw the movie in a private screening for exhibitors a few weeks ago. It is just stunning. In my view, it's a cinematic masterpiece, and oh my, are we going to sell tickets for Top Gun Maverick at AMC. The second quarter also will include such crowd pleasers as Universal's Jurassic World Dominion, and for audiences young and old, back from infinity and beyond, Pixar's Lightyear. Later in the year, in the second half, we have one amazing title after another, especially including Baz Luhrmann's brilliant biopic of Elvis, starring Tom Hanks as Colonel Parker, along with Illumination's Minions: The Rise of Gru, Marvel's Thor: Love and Thunder, Jordan Peele's latest original edge-of-your-seat horror flick, Nope, and Brad Pitt's action-packed thriller, Bullet Train. The movies keep coming in 2022, We'll finish the year with Warner Brothers DC Comics-based Black Adam, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and 3 more Disney films, which are sure to be monstrous hits, including the animated Strange World and 2 highly anticipated tentpole Disney sequels, Marvel's Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and James Cameron's Avatar 2, the sequel to Avatar, at the time of its original release, the highest worldwide grossing movie of all time. I've had the privilege of spending some time with the brilliant James Cameron and his producing partner John Landau, and have seen actual footage from Avatar 2, which is just glorious. I can tell you with certainty that movie audiences are going to be mesmerized by their return to Pandora. As a result, the entire movie industry is going to end 2022 in grand style. It's just so very clear in our eyes. Just as Nicole Kidman proclaimed in our ever so successful television advertising, which has attained a cult-like status, moviegoers are so eager to return to the magic offered at AMC theaters. They want dazzling images on a huge silver screen. They want to immerse themselves in stories that are perfect and powerful. They want to enjoy comfortable recliner seating, a bucket of buttered popcorn, and a Coke. They want more IMAX and Dolby Cinema screens at AMC than are offered by any other movie exhibitor. And for just a few hours, they want to escape. They want to escape the news, the internet, war, politics, inflation, interest rate hikes, their phone, and the interruptions that inevitably come when at home. So there is no confusion. At AMC, we are very optimistic about the outlook for the 2022 box office, that we believe to be close to double that of 2021 and 4 times that of 2020. No one has a perfect crystal ball, but our hope and current expectations is that the fourth quarter of 2022 will finally reach, or will get close to, pre-pandemic levels of revenue. Some on Wall Street and some in the press have been filling our heads for 2 years now about the rise of streaming and the corresponding end of theaters. This won't be the first time or the last time that conventional wisdom will be proven to be filled with so much folly and so very wrong. Movie theaters have been central to the cultural fabric of America and the world for more than a century, and their promise and potential remains resilient and real. Many of us on this call can remember the revealing and clarifying language that came out of the 1992 presidential campaign when James Carville said, "It's the economy, stupid." Well, for the movie theater business, it's the movies, stupid. And oh, do we have hit movies now coming to an AMC theater near you. I'll be back in a few minutes to provide some strategic updates and take your questions. But now I'll turn the call over to our CFO, John Goodman. John?
Thank you, Adam, and thanks everyone for joining us this afternoon. During the first quarter, we welcomed 39 million guests to our theaters around the world. This is a very significant increase from the 7 million guests that we entertained in the same period last year. And our Q1 2022 attendance generated revenue of $785.7 million. This is more than 5 times the $148.3 million of revenue that we had in Q1 of 2021. In addition, our Q1 22 adjusted EBITDA improved by $233 million to a loss of $61.7 million. And this compares to a loss of $294.7 million in Q1 of 2021. Clearly, we're making meaningful progress along our recovery path. While Q1 revenue and attendance were well below pre-pandemic levels, this is precisely as we predicted in our most recent quarterly earnings call. Knowing that the timing of when the big movies would be released this year, we said then that the industry box office would rise markedly in calendar year 2022 but that most of this strength would occur in the second half of 2022. In Q1, we saw that the box office momentum built as the quarter progressed, and Q2 has started off strong. Just this past weekend, look at the robust Doctor Strange opening. Indeed, consumers are flocking to the theaters once again. We're very encouraged by the compelling upcoming film slate and our consistently very strong post-pandemic operating performance that reflects our laser focus on both the guest experience and profit improvement initiatives to grow and enhance the business. First quarter consolidated revenue per patron was $20.11. That's 33.7% higher than pre-pandemic Q1 of 2019. Consolidated admissions revenue per patron was up 23.9%, and consolidated food and beverage revenue per patron was up 40%. Both of this is compared to the first quarter of 2019. In our domestic business, admissions revenue per patron increased by 28.5% compared to pre-pandemic Q1 2019, and our international business achieved a 15% increase. The admissions revenue per patron growth was driven by guests increasingly choosing to upgrade to the very best possible sight and sound experiences that can only be found at our premium large format offerings such as IMAX, Dolby Cinema, and AMC Prime. PLF, or premium large format attendance, represented 16% of our domestic attendance in Q1 of 2022, compared to 13% in the first quarter of 2019. And in our international markets, Q1 2022 PLF attendance represented 9.5% compared to 8.1% in the first quarter of 2019. In addition, we also benefited from an overall favorable showtime mix, coupled with pricing adjustments, including blockbuster and opening weekend pricing. From a food and beverage perspective, we continue to enjoy exceptionally strong food and beverage revenue per patron, as our guests enjoy the full outside-the-home entertainment experience that is offered at AMC. In our domestic markets, food and beverage spend per patron in the first quarter was $7.52. That is 43.7% higher than the average spend in pre-pandemic Q1 2019. And in the international business, food and beverage spend per patron was $4.40, and that is 35% higher than pre-pandemic Q1 of 2019. Our significant food and beverage outperformance continues to be primarily driven by an increase in the proportion of guests choosing to enjoy our industry-leading food and beverage offerings that are made easy and convenient to purchase through the AMC app. Consolidated other revenue per patron in Q1 2022 increased by 82.4% compared to the same period in 2019, with domestic other revenue per patron increasing 93.5% and international other revenue per patron increasing by 61.9%. These statistics reflect an increasingly higher percentage of guests that are choosing to reserve their seats and to order their food and beverage in advance using our industry-leading website and app, together with the benefit of diversification initiatives that we've deployed, such as renting our theaters during off-peak times to businesses and government organizations for meetings or other events. In an ongoing effort to enhance efficiency, we continue to be extremely agile in adjusting payroll hours and flexing show times to reflect the market demand and to optimize our efficiency. For example, our Q1 domestic attendance of 25.8 million guests represented 46.9% of Q1 2019 attendance, but it also represented 71% of Q1 2019's attendance per showing. Moving to cash and liquidity, we ended the quarter with a liquidity of approximately $1.4 billion, comprised of $1.165 billion of cash and cash equivalents and $211 million of undrawn credit facilities. As anticipated and as discussed during last quarter's webcast, cash burn this quarter was adversely impacted by normal seasonal Q1 working capital needs. Our working capital almost always comes under pressure during Q1 following a strong Q4 holiday box office, and this year was no exception. Operating cash burn, representing cash burn before debt servicing costs and before deferred rent payback, was $223.9 million. This compares to $321.6 million in Q1 of 2021.
Fantastic.
Looking ahead, we expect our cash burn to improve sequentially through the year, with Q2 being better than Q1, but still relatively weak, but with the second half of 2022 being substantially better than the first half, with positive operating cash generation by the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Regarding capital allocation, we continue to pursue a balanced and very disciplined approach to capital allocation. Our priorities remain unchanged. 1, ensuring that we have sufficient liquidity to manage through the recovery phase of our business. 2, strengthen our balance sheet by reducing our debt and associated interest costs. 3, invest in our business to enhance the guest experience. 4, opportunistically pursue value-enhancing initiatives, including those that lead to diversification of our business. So far this year, we have been very active in allocating capital to enhance shareholder value. As we previously reported, earlier this year, we completed a highly successful capital raising, issuing $950 million of 7.5% first lien notes. As a result of this transaction, we were able to repay high interest debt that was raised at the height of the pandemic and thereby reduce our annual interest expense. At the same time, we extended our debt maturities by between 3 and 4 years. During the first quarter of 2022, we also repaid approximately $45 million of deferred rent, reducing our deferred rent balance to approximately $272 million. We expect to further reduce this deferred rent balance during 2022 by another approximately $125 million. And we continue to work on other attractive opportunities to strengthen our balance sheet and enhance our financial flexibility. Actively managing our theater portfolio is ongoing at AMC as we add new high-performing locations and eliminate low performers, all with the goal of improving guest satisfaction and optimizing our overall profitability. During the quarter, we added 3 new theaters. We closed 12. This brings the total number of locations closed since the pandemic began to 95, and the total number of new locations opened to 33, for a net reduction of 62 locations through Q1 2022. In addition, in early April, we announced the acquisition of 7 formerly Bowtie Cinema locations in Connecticut, upstate New York, and Annapolis, Maryland. And last month, we announced a significant investment to dramatically upgrade the sight and sound experience at AMC through the installation of laser projection equipment at 3,500 auditoriums in the US through 2026. This equipment has a value of approximately $250 million, although our upfront capital investment is minimal based on our agreement with our partner, Cineonic. And this new projection equipment is also environmentally friendly and comes along with meaningful operating cost benefits. Net CapEx, including landlord contributions in Q1, was $34.2 million. And for 2022, separate and apart from any M&A activity, we're expecting net CapEx to be in the range of $150 to $200 million. Finally, in mid-March, we announced our investment in Hycroft Mining. As a result of this investment of $27.9 million, we recorded a mark-to-market gain $63.9 million in the first quarter of 2022. This is based on the share price of Hycroft on March 31st.
Yeah.
The theater operating enhancements and efficiency optimization initiatives implemented over the last 2 years have positioned us very well, and we continue to focus on initiatives to grow our revenue, increase our efficiency, enhance the guest experience, and diversify our business, all with the goal of growing shareholder value and ensuring our success in a post-COVID environment. And with that, I'll pass the call back over to Adam.
Thank you, Sean. Before we open up this webcast to questions, I'd like to update you on some of our key strategic initiatives to enhance value for AMC and for our shareholders. Let's start with our strategy at AMC, which can best be described with 3 unmistakable words: recovery, agility, transformation. You'll hear this almost as a mantra a lot from us as we move forward. As for recovery, over the last 5 quarters, our financial performance has clearly indicated that AMC is on a glide path to recovery from the impacts of COVID-19. For sure, in 2020, COVID took AMC to our knees. But like the plot in any great fight movie, in 2021, AMC got up off the canvas, dusted ourselves off, steadied ourselves, and started to play on offense again. We get stronger and stronger as each day passes, and pretty soon we'll be back to normal, punching away as you would expect from the #1 player in theatrical exhibition. We're not where we want to be or need to be yet, but we now see it in our future. 2021 was a better year than 2020. 2022 will be a better year than 2021. And we already believe that given the expected movie slate, 2023 will be a better year than 2022. Our focus remains sharp on guiding AMC to a successful and lasting recovery from the impacts of the pandemic. At the same time as we're working to produce that recovery, we recognize that our industry is filled with change, so we must be agile and nimble in managing through that change. If 2020 and 2021 have demonstrated anything, it's that the management team at AMC is expert in navigating our way through uncharted waters. No matter what the world has thrown at us, we have risen to each and every challenge. Therefore, I have every confidence looking forward that AMC will continue to cope well as we bob and weave and adjust our course as may be required. No matter what change may lay ahead, our agility is the bedrock of which our solid foundation is built, and which in the end should see us through. Taken as a whole, AMC has demonstrated a remarkable ability and achieved a remarkable track record of navigating successfully through change. At the same time, armed as we have been by our shareholders with more than $1 billion war chest, we also will be looking for a transformational and value-creating metamorphosis of what AMC is. It's not enough for us just to bring back the AMC of pre-pandemic 2019. Several of us on this call have noted that AMC shares have traded above historic fundamentals of that old AMC. But you underestimate us, and you underestimate us mightily if you do not think we are looking to change AMC, to make it a bolder and grander enterprise. You do not understand if you do not think we are seeking out new and exciting opportunity. Our Hycroft mining investment is a perfect example. Some were stunned by our announcement because it did not align with their preconceived notions about AMC or what they thought were our core competencies. But during the pandemic, AMC demonstrated a keen insight into how companies could rescue themselves from liquidity challenges. That is the expertise that we brought to Hycroft, and so far, so good. At a time when the NASDAQ is off 9% in overall value, our investment in Hycroft Mining has increased by more than 30% as of Friday's closing price. As I've said before, those who think of AMC just in terms of the company that existed pre-pandemic are looking through a rearview mirror to the past instead of looking through the front windshield towards the future. There is a myriad of opportunity out there as we build a new AMC and grow our way through value-creating initiatives. There will be more high crops ahead, not gold or silver mining per se, although I must say that gold and silver mining was a fun way to start. But we will also be looking for more value-creating investments where AMC can continue to share our expertise and talents. For sure, though, we plan to be deliberate and disciplined in investing in opportunities to enhance our existing business or to diversify into previously unexplored markets or into industries where we can use our bold thinking, penchant for innovation, and capital raising experience to unlock value for AMC and for our shareholders. In addition to talking about our strategy, I also would like to share a quick update on a few previously announced initiatives. First, popcorn. We continue on the path to enter the attractive multi-billion-dollar retail popcorn industry expected for later this year. Move aside, Orville Redenbacher. You have a new competitor.
Ooh.
Right now, we're in the midst of focused research and product testing. Among other popcorn-related concepts, later this year, you'll be able to order and have delivered to your home our AMC feature fare and classic menu items, including, of course, AMC Perfectly Popcorn, flatbreads, pretzel bites, and other snack items. This service will be piloted in key markets, such as Chicago this summer, with plans to launch system-wide in the United States in the fourth quarter of this year. We are also developing, as you know, a line of microwave and ready-to-eat popcorn products to be sold at grocery stores and other outlets so that customers can enjoy our unique and differentiated popcorn offering in the comfort of their homes. Again, hopefully launched to consumers before year end. Second, a comment on a branded credit card. Discussions are now underway by AMC with potential banking partners about the launch of a co-branded credit card aimed at AMC shareholders and moviegoers. Within a year of today, we will aim to place a significant number of these cards into the market. Our hope, too, is that this can be a quite lucrative business opportunity for AMC. Third, on NFTs and cryptocurrency. We have 8 different NFT programs that either already have been launched or are in the works. They've already helped us to stimulate the sale of movie theater tickets for movies like Spider-Man No Way Home, Dune, and The Batman, or to increase the effectiveness of other AMC programs like AMC Investor Connect, which now has some 665,000 enrolled members. We'll continue to explore how NFTs can drive increased profitability for AMC going forward.
Announce it.
Cryptocurrency, with great fanfare, we now accept a wide array of cryptocurrencies for online payments at AMC. The same IT programming that was required for us to accept cryptocurrency also enabled us to accept other payment types, including Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, BitPay, and Venmo, among others.
Thank you, Joey.
These various new payment options, impressively, recently represented about 35% of our total online payments. Fourth, a comment on our pricing actions. AMC has taken in the past a number of big, smart, and innovative steps on theater ticket and food and beverage pricing. Just look at our revenues per patron in Q1, which have been well on the march with obvious positive results. We've been guided in the past by a simple philosophy. We charged more when there was peak demand, and we charged less when demand was soft. So far, that rational view of the laws of supply and demand has worked well for AMC. And fifth, investments in our theatrical exhibition business. During 2021 and so far during 2022, We acquired 1/3 of the former ArcLight Pacific Theater circuit located in major metropolitan markets like Los Angeles, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. And we acquired about 3/5 of Bowtie Cinema's locations, mostly in Connecticut, along with upstate New York and Annapolis, Maryland. When we add AMC's expertise, unique guest offerings, and industry-leading loyalty programs, these new theater locations begin to soar. As an example, our mid-2021 acquisitions of the Grove 14 and Americana at Brand 18, both in the Los Angeles market, have consistently ranked among the 30 highest grossing movie theaters in the entire United States since joining the AMC family. And we are not done yet. We will continue to explore adding high profile, interesting, potentially profitable theaters to the AMC network. But we're not just acquiring new theaters. We're also investing in upgrading our fleet of theaters. AMC is committed to significantly grow the number of IMAX and Dolby Cinema locations in the months and years ahead. We are the leader in premium large format screens, and we intend to keep our advantaged position intact, secure, and growing. In addition to PLFs, our first major broad-scale projector upgrade since the transition to digital was announced by AMC as we introduced a new premium format, laser, at AMC, where we will begin deploying the latest laser projection technology in our theaters in some 3,500 auditoriums across the United States over the next several years. With this upgrade, AMC moviegoers can expect improved picture contrast, maximum picture brightness, and more vivid color. In short, a much better viewing experience that will get moviegoers off their couches, at home, and into our theaters. As I conclude, I'd like to make a special comment to our avid, enthusiastic, and passionate retail investors who have embraced AMC with gusto over the past year and a half. As an example, there's one group of particularly committed AMC shareholders who sent me a binder, then followed up by an email that were filled with about 1,000 different ideas.
Awesome.
For AMC. Looking more broadly, the ideas keep coming and keep flowing to AMC from our shareholder base. I think it is well known that I write my tweets myself, and I actively read my inbound Twitter feed. So literally thousands and thousands of times, I have personally seen your observations and advice. I see your frustrations with your perceptions of how the market works or does not work, your anxiety over the number of so-called failed to deliver shares, or your alarm over something that by its very name sounds ominous in dark trading pools. And I hear the advice coming in Twitter post after Twitter post that comes from our approximate 4 million retail investors who own the vast, vast, vast majority of our 516.8 million issued shares. Your ire and anger directed at short sellers is evident. I hear your suggestions that we should call for more market regulation by government, or that we should take more company action by issuing a cash, gift card, or NFT dividend. And I hear how some of you actually want to donate money to help us build up our treasury and or pay down our debt.
Yes.
And that's just a few of the countless suggestions and pieces of advice I have received day in and day out. Not surprisingly, much of the advice that comes in conflicts with the advice that others of you share. And while most comes in constructively, some comes in with hostility or laced with threats. Most is well intended, but some might be hurled at us with an intent of actually harming me or the company, possibly even coming in from short sellers or others motivated by malevolent intention.
Definitely short sellers.
This is co-opting a narrative as an excuse.
I greatly appreciate that you care so deeply. Also, running a company with such broad interest as AMC is an art form, not a science. There is real wisdom required in knowing what to do and knowing what not to do, in knowing when to do it and in knowing when not to do it. Having said that, you should not interpret silence as inaction. We are constantly exploring the smartest courses of action, and I promise you that we will pounce.
It's almost like he was in this call.
Right. Being human, we will not always thread the needle perfectly, but for certain know this, we're doing our best. And even with my well-disclosed in advance stock sales, I still have an interest in 2.9 million AMC shares. That is 793,974 shares that I own outright, and 2,100,076 granted, but unvested AMC shares in addition. My every incentive is to think and to act like a shareholder to maximize the long-term value of AMC shareholders, because like you, that's what I am. I am an AMC shareholder above all else. In summary, our first quarter of 2022 was encouraging. Our liquidity position remains strong. The film slate is compelling, and we're playing on the offensive as we grow and diversify our business. While we're still in a recovery phase, the outlook is positive indeed in our view. Oh, and one last thing. Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange. Go see it. AMC just put a very big weekend on the books, and we're highly optimistic that it's a hard.
You've already said that. My God.
What's to come? Top Gun Maverick, Memorial Day weekend, then Jurassic World Dominion, and then more and more and more and more. 2022 has me filled with excitement. Sean, now let's turn to questions, starting with questions from our shareholders.
Thanks, Adam. So we have a few questions to start relating to the upcoming shareholder meeting. Specifically, there's questions about people's voting material, when they will be received, what is on the docket for voting at the shareholder meeting, and there's a question about will international shareholders be allowed to vote at this meeting?
Thank you for the question. Our shareholder meeting is scheduled for June 16th at 2 p.m. Central Time. It'll be held here in our offices in Leawood, Kansas, a suburb of Kansas City. You all are invited. Those of you who are shareholders anyway, those of you who are shareholders are invited to attend in person if you wish. We filed all the proxy papers with the SEC on April 29. You can access those proxy papers if you haven't already seen them by going to the investor relations section of the amctheaters.com website. Look at the financial performance tab, it's all there. As for voting materials, you should usually allow about 2 weeks or so for brokerage firms to get the proxy materials to you as a shareholder at AMC. If you do not receive proxy materials by mid-May, you definitely should contact your broker or our proxy solicitor, D.F. King, who is a special toll-free number for AMC shareholders at 1-888-625-2588. That number again is 1-888-625-2588. There are 3 issues up for a vote at the annual meeting. One is the election of directors of some members of our board who are up for re-election. Another is a non-binding advisory vote on say on pay. And the third is the ratification of our external auditors, Ernst & Young. As for our international shareholders, many of whom will be listening to this call today, we have a particular appreciation for those of you around the world who still follow AMC. This is a matter of some consternation for us. Whether you can vote at our shareholder meeting is entirely based on your brokerage firm. So I would encourage you to check with your broker internationally. Hopefully you're with one of the brokerage firms who will allow you to vote your shares at our annual meeting. If not, change brokers.
Cool.
Thanks, Adam. So the next question is about our entry into the retail popcorn business. The specific question is, when is popcorn likely to be available in stores?
You know, as I said in my prepared remarks, our hope is that we can be there in the fourth quarter of this year, 2022. There's a lot of activity behind the scenes, including discussions with various major retailers. And the one thing I know is that our microwave and ready popcorn is going to be a strong competitor. Our brand resonates with consumers. We're known for popcorn. I've had lots of ideas submitted by shareholders that we should include something called a golden ticket with our packaging.
Yes.
That's a great idea. And I'm sure that we will, sort of like Cracker Jack has a gift in every box. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some benefit relating to AMC.
That came right from these calls, by the way.
Every box of our Perfectly popcorn. Let's hope we can get there in the last trimester of 2022.
Trimester.
One of the many questions that, one of the many suggestions that we've had is relating to AMC merchandise. There's a question of when people expect to be able to purchase AMC merchandise.
So the suggestion of AMC merchandise is also a good idea. And we've tested some either at our theaters or online. We've had, you may recall, we had a Ghostbusters ambulance that we sold out of. We had Batman cowl popcorn holders that we sold out of. And what's very clear to us is the merchandise is going to work for us. We're in the process of figuring out now how to make AMC branded merchandise and movie themed merchandise available to our guests, whether at theaters or online. Look for that to unveil to consumers sometime in the second half of 2022.
AMC
So
style
people are
glasses.
asking what sort of marketing and initiatives are being done when we acquire new theater locations.
Well, I'll answer the question of what we're doing in a second, but let me start by saying it sure is working. Look at what's going on at the Grove and Americana at Brand out in LA. These were good and strong theaters for ArcLight. It's why we took them into our, and Pacific. It's why we took them into our network. But their performance has soared on our watch. There are like 5,000 movie theaters in the country, and these two have consistently been performing in the top 30 ever since we took them over. In terms of what we do, the first thing that we look at is how can we upgrade the product, bring AMC service levels and amenities into the theaters that we acquire. We'll be doing the same thing at the Bowtie theaters in Connecticut, upstate New York, and Annapolis that we did out west. In the case of some of our theaters, we're going to be installing IMAX locations or Dolby Cinema locations or both. Beyond improving the product, we're also bringing our loyalty programs to these theaters. AMC Stubs, our frequent movie-going program, AMC Stubs A-List, our monthly subscription program. We're also then, as we convert customers from these theaters into our loyalty programs, we're then communicating with them frequently, certainly on a weekly basis, to let them know what's coming at AMC. We're adding to all this local marketing through social media, including paid media. And as I said, it's all working really well so far. And I might add, we're not done. We're going to add more high-quality theaters to our network throughout 2022.
Some questions about dividends. When will AMC pay a dividend?
Well, I've seen suggestion after suggestion that you'd like to see us pay a dividend. I think we've announced publicly previously that our current debt documents prevent us from paying a cash dividend prior to June of 2023. So this is not really a decision for today. This is a decision for a year down the road.
That's what he said last
Another
year.
one of the many suggestions, will AMC make its own movies?
You know, this one is a particularly interesting topic. Several years ago, AMC owned 50% of Open Road Films, where we did make our own movies, and in fact got the Oscar in 2016 for the Best Picture of the Year with Spotlight. And I have to say that there are a lot of conversations that are underway now with various movie makers about whether we should repeat our activity in prior years of making our own content. It is something that's on the list. We're thinking very hard about it. We've had very serious conversations with some very well-known movie studio executives, major movie directors, and it is something that has our attention.
With our recent,
Can I just add,
sure,
while we're on the subject? But even if we were to make our own movies, now is a good time to put in a good word to our longstanding studio partners. Hollywood is turning out great product again, and it's finally being released exclusively in theaters for an exclusive theatrical window. And I just want to say how grateful we are to the likes of, you name it, Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers, Sony, Paramount, Lionsgate, all the makers of movies. And it does raise the question, can we convince some of the streamers to introduce their movies, some of their movies theatrically as well? We have had conversations over the years with Netflix, Amazon, and Apple. We continue to make it very clear that we would be very pleased to show some of their bigger, better movies. But in doing so, we have to respect our longstanding industry partners, the major studios. We can't have one set of rules for the major studios and a separate set of rules for streamers. But if we can convince the streamers that it's in their interest to show movies theatrically, that might be yet another way of getting more movie product into our theaters.
So with our recent acceptance of cryptocurrencies and other forms of payment, people want to know to what extent are these new forms of payment being accepted, including Dogecoin, Bitcoin, etc.
So, you know, this was only put on our radar screen by our shareholders. And there was just enormous interest in it. And so we went down the path of doing the programming required to accept cryptocurrency. And what we found is that the same programming that was needed to accept cryptocurrency is the exact same programming that we needed to accept Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, and a whole bunch of other payment types. And it's been a massive home run for us. While crypto itself is modest in usage, when you take all of those new payment types that we introduced for AMC as a result of our exploring crypto, you know, again, it's in the neighborhood of a third of our total online ticketing is now being paid for in all these various alternate payment methods. So I would say this whole endeavor has been a massive success for us. And of course, the holy grail is, do we actually ever consider launching a cryptocurrency of our own? We've said publicly that we're intrigued by that notion. We're studying that notion. The biggest issue that we want to make sure that we get exactly right is that we believe the regulatory environment on cryptocurrency will radically change during 2022 and 2023. And we want to make sure that if we do embrace issuing cryptocurrency rather than just accepting cryptocurrency, that we anticipate the new regulatory climate well, and we stay on the right side of the law.
People are interested in our plans with respect to NFTs. Up until now, we've been largely using them for promotional purposes. There's questions as to whether AMC would look to sell NFTs in the future.
So that also is an interesting question. That also was put on the radar screen by our shareholder base. I said in my earlier remarks that we have 8 NFT programs either already been launched or in the works. We historically only had 4 of these programs so far, but historically we've been giving away these NFTs. We did an interesting poll on Twitter saying, should we continue to give them away free or should we sell them? And the results of that poll in very round numbers are, 3/5 or 2/3 said keep giving away free, but a healthy percentage said we should sell some NFTs to generate some funds. So who knows exactly what we'll do going forward. Maybe we'll do a mixture of both. Some NFT programs we will give away free and others we will sell. But we are exploring very carefully and thinking very hard about how to maximize the profitability possibilities that could accrue to AMC from our interest in NFTs. And I would say that with respect to our competition, we're way out in front of any other movie theater exhibitor anywhere on the planet. We've issued literally hundreds of thousands more NFTs than anyone else.
There's a broad-ranging question here about how we keep AMC relevant with the strength of streaming.
Well, I do think that's playing out before our very eyes. If you look at the pandemic, the period when movie theaters were shut, studios played around with every possible variation of theatrical release, including taking some movies to the home simultaneous with theatrical release. In other cases, just taking movies to the home and not releasing them in theaters overall. I think we've convinced Hollywood that the way to optimize their profitability is for them to support their streaming services, but also to support theatrical exhibition. Theatrical window has returned. That's good for the future and relevance of movie theaters. Beyond that, though, if you really look at the darker times for revenue generation over the past 24 months, it's been because there just wasn't a lot of good movies coming out. And it wasn't so much the quality of movies that was bad, it was the quantity of movies that was depressed. What's happened of late, it started in the fourth quarter of 2021, finishing up with a huge hit in Spider-Man No Way Home, 3rd biggest movie of all time. Then we saw Uncharted and the Batman in the first quarter. Now we're seeing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Top Gun Maverick's around the corner. Jurassic World Dominion's around the corner. The summer is filled with movies. The fall, Christmas comes Avatar 2. I really do think that, among the biggest things we can do to assure our relevance is to make sure that we have a steady parade and cavalcade of major movie titles with broad consumer appeal that are being released by studios. Beyond that, then at AMC, we have a further obligation on top of just having good movies at our disposal. And we are absolutely committed to being innovators in theatrical exhibition, keeping the quality of our theaters high. As I said, we're investing sufficient funds to get $250 million of laser projection equipment into our theaters coming down soon. We've got more IMAX locations coming, more Dolby Cinema locations coming. We are going to continue to make our food products more enticing at AMC as we look ahead. So take all that together, combine it with the fact that people have been going to movie theaters for a century. I'm just certain of one thing in life. The movie theater industry as an industry and AMC as a company, we will be relevant and we will take whatever actions we need to stay relevant as we look ahead.
And finally, question about our partnership with Dreamscape and our plans with respect to that partnership. Will AMC consider more Dreamscape locations, for example?
Well, for those of you who don't know what Dreamscape is, it's a really innovative virtual reality product We opened up 3 Dreamscape locations, one in New Jersey, one in Ohio, one in Texas, to test them. The product is spectacular. The economic returns are okay. They're not spectacular, but they're okay. We're told that there are changes in technology coming with VR that will make it more affordable to introduce more Dreamscape locations. So with respect to Dreamscape specifically, we will see. But the fact that we were willing to embrace Dreamscape 3 or 4 years ago, I think is yet another signal of AMC's willingness to embrace alternate content. And this summer, we experimented with a variety of interesting concepts, showing concert movies, some live, some on tape. We showed WWE and UFC events in our theaters. For 2 of the past 3 years, we showed NFL games on Sunday afternoons in our theaters. And I just have a strong view that if we can obtain the rights to show professional sporting events or collegiate sporting events in our theaters going forward, that would be very popular with our guests. So all of this is in the works. The minute we strike a rights deal with a major league, we will put out a press release. With that, are there any other questions? Do we have time? It's already 59 minutes in. We kind of promised people an hour. So maybe operator will take a question and then call it a day.
Thank you. It appears we have reached our time limit for the conference. This concludes our question and answer session. I would like to turn back to you for closing remarks.
All right, operator, I guess we're done. We tried. Closing remarks. Very simple, folks. We had a good quarter. We're on the march forward. We're in the middle of a long road to recovery. But if you ever want to get enthusiastic about where we are on that road, just look at the $187.4 million. 26% of it was ours from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness this weekend.
Wow.
Go see it at an AMC theater near you. And I am telling you, whatever you do in life, do not miss Top Gun Maverick. It is one spectacular movie. Thank you, operator. Thank you, one and all, for listening.
Wow. Wow, guys. What do you guys think? Attending today's presentation. You may now disconnect.
Huh? Let's start with hands.
Super impressive. Hey guys, I thought that was really cool and really good information. And I agree with Tara's post about is that how many times we're shorted over?
Yeah. We getting shorted right now?
If you guys look at crypto, it's dropping big time.
Yeah, crypto's being rug pulled by big institutions for liquidity. They're panicking, dude. They're panicking. Next week is going to be a pretty big week, in my opinion.
So MOAS tomorrow, 2 p.m.
No, I'm not promising MOAS, but
it's just a joke, playing around.
No, I know.
But good to see everybody here. I got to take off, but awesome to hear it with you guys, and hopefully I can start being online a little bit more again.
Did you guys hear what he just said about Multiverse? They made $48 million on Multiverse of Madness this weekend. AMC theaters alone. And I don't know if that's just box office. I don't think that's concessions. That's huge.
I just saw that El Salvador president said that he bought the Bitcoin dip, and I was wondering how that's going. I just don't know. I don't think this is the bottom for crypto, and I'm not trying to be super bearish, but I am. I mean, I don't know. It seems like they're heavily liquidating right now.
Yep. the May 20th, the week of May 20th, the options chain is absolutely nuts. It took me 2 days to figure out my Hoyle's method on it, to where I came up where actually Jay Brett came in and talked to me about it. Thanks, Jay Brett, about putting more data in for the put side. And I'll tell you, there's calls, there's 24,000 calls open interest on $40 and another 24,000 on $60. So there are massive calls out, way out of the money for AMC next week on Friday. And Highcroft's the same way. The funny thing is they've loaded the put side up really low to try to keep the price suppressed. And they're still trying to keep, look at the massive stop loss hunts that just happened after hours on AMC. Like almost $1 in stop loss hunting in Candlewicks, but they're still trying to keep it below 1350 for Friday the 13th, which is what I called. So they're in panic mode right now.
Yeah, I was
Really
just going to
quick.
hop in and say, sorry if you don't mind.
That's okay. I just really quick before too many people bounce out of here, I just want to thank everyone for coming in here and making sure to tweet out the call. Make sure you're following Spence up here. He does amazing work and an amazing job running these spaces.
Thank you, Tara. And yeah, everybody that came, much appreciated. It was a great earnings call. Every time you guys come in and we have big rooms like this, it consolidates the community into the most important topics that we can cover. And on that, I'm actually going to shut the YouTube stream down so the people can go back and watch just the earnings call for continuity. So everybody on YouTube, over 60 viewers today, the biggest I've ever had. Thank you so much for coming. When you guys come to this and these numbers, it makes me know that nobody is fucking selling, man. Love y'all.
Exactly. That's 100% true. And one more thing,